WWE 2K have been going for a very long time now. Over 10 years of making the WWE games. But how good are they? Today we'll be rating on a scale from 1 to 10 on how good each game was and what ranking they go in. Quickly, if you're wondering why Becky Lynch doesn't even look like Becky Lynch, for copyright reasons, I've blurred out the games. So obviously, I cannot get copyright for that. Obviously, I've put Roman Reigns in the top right. Blur that text little, that just happened. But yeah, I've had to blur them out. So yeah, but hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's give us to record. Always remember, smash the like and subscribe button to the flipping channel. And let's get into one. The first game, and in last place, it's an easy one. It is WWE 2K20, the first game really shown in this thumbnail. WWE 2K20 was a complete disaster, we could say that. They moved a different engine, going back to an old engine for WWE 2K18. WWE 2K19 we talked about later in this video, but WWE 2K20 was an absolute disaster. Obviously, with WWE not making a 2K21, 2K20 went on as the longest 2K game ever to still be the main game, going on for over 2 years as the main game. But the graphics were awful. The graphics went downhill, which is something you should not be seeing when a game gets more recent and is going on in time. And the gameplay was just terrible. There were so many glitches. The game was all over the place. It just didn't feel like a wrestling game anymore. WWE 2K20 was a complete disaster. Out of 10, I'd give it a 2 at best. But the entrances were awful. Everything was just all over the place, mixed up. Game was crashing. Yeah, it was so bad. So WWE 2K20 is definitely sitting in that last place spot. In my 9th spot, it's a debatable one. But I've got WWE 2K16. Stone Cold Steve Austin starring as the cover star for this game. But I thought the game was just quite dull. It was very similar to the last game being WWE 2K15. 2K15 will be talked about in a minute. But 2K16 was a very similar game. They removed Showcase mode, which is already a downhill, replaced it with a new mode, which I can't remember what it was. But the game just didn't have a lot to it. It was very just a one-base game of just wrestling. There was not really anything outside of it to do. So it was quite a boring game if we think of it. Some people argue that it should be higher, and that is an argument that I can respect. Some people enjoy the game more than others, but for me, it was just quite a dull and boring game. In my 8th spot, I have got WWE 2K17. Brock Lesnar as the cover star. I just thought, again, the game went downhill on graphics. It got worse on graphics. And the gameplay just didn't really feel the best. It weren't really a massive upgrade from 2K16, to be honest, when I think of it. But yeah, all round, 2K17 probably just edges it over 2K16, but it still wasn't a great game. The graphics went backwards just overall, and the gameplay just felt the exact same. So for 3 years running, the gameplay felt very, very similar. In my 7th spot, it's quite a predictable one. It was coming this whole time. I've got WWE 2K15. 2K15 had some positives. It had a new engine brought to the game, but it was just very, very similar once again. Obviously, yes, you could say it weren't. The only thing it really brought was a lot better graphics, we could say. But the gameplay got worse. It felt slower. It just felt more practical. It didn't feel as nice to play. It was very... There was a lot more to do. John Cena was the cover star of that game, but it didn't feel that great. It was the first game to really debut on PS4 and Xbox One, but I don't think it had that hype like the other games did. So I think 2K15 is in a respectable 7th place spot. In 6th place, I have gone with WWE 2K18. Obviously, Seth Rollins being the cover star. I thought 2K18 definitely was an upgrade. I thought it was similar to 17 in a way. The gameplay didn't change much, but the graphics got better. That is one thing we can say. The gameplay was very similar, but it definitely got better. The entrances got better. The crowd reactions and everything got better. The whole game definitely just improved. And I think from here, it starts going up a bit. Obviously, except from 2K20, but we're just going to symbol out that game because it's just different to the others. But 2K18 was definitely a success, but there were some things that could have been better. But I think 6th place for 2K18 is respectable. Respectable, oh my lord. I think the face scan stuff definitely could have been better, but the graphics were just a lot more improved than 2K17. So there is definitely more positives and negatives on this one. But 2K18 sits in 6th place. In 5th spot, I've got probably a more recent game, that being WWE 2K22. WWE 2K22 was a highly anticipated game, with the weight of no WWE 2K21 and a boring game of WWE Battlegrounds, which weren't even produced by 2K, which is why it's not on this list. 2K22 definitely was a success. Rey Mysterio was a surprising cover star, but covered the game, and 2K22 felt like the upgrade we'd been needing for a long time. Comparing to 2K20, 2K22 felt like a whole different game. It felt like a big upgrade in gameplay, storyline for My Rise, and just entrances and overall. It felt a lot better game. But what competition has it got? WWE 2K20. That's it. There's other games to talk about in this video, but 2K20 I think is a respectable 5th place. I think it was very, very good, but obviously it started this new thing of releasing the game at a different time from October to March, which is a weird release date or release time for a game that has its biggest event in the next month. But 2K22 was a decent game overall. I think, yeah, it was just what we had needed. So 2K22 sits in 5th place. In number 4, I have got WWE 2K14. 2K14 was a big, big upgrade from WWE 13 and WWE 12. And obviously with The Rock covering the game, it just felt like a very good game. The graphics weren't the best, but it was still on PS3 and Xbox 360. So you weren't going to expect the best. But I thought the game was a good game. When I played it a couple of times, it's been good. It was the final one before new engines brought into the game. But even without a new engine, the gameplay just felt better. There was new moves. There was a whole more wide move set. The entries were better. Graphics were better without even having a new engine. So it's one thing that we can reflect on and say 2K14 was definitely the start of a new era and definitely a good game. In 2nd place, I have got WWE 2K19. 2K19 was just amazing. A generational game for how good it was. A new engine from 2K18 and just brought that life. And it was so much better than 2K18, 17 and 16 overall. Combine all the games, it ain't touching 19. 2K19 was covered by AJ Styles. But overall, the My Rise or My Career was really, really good. New moveset was good. The arenas and the graphics upgrade was absolutely stunning. So 2K19 is definitely got to be. It could arguably be first, in my opinion. And it was just so good, the way they did the graphics. And, I'm glazing. But the game, I think, in my opinion, was just very, very good. So I think WWE 2K19 deserves to be sitting in 2nd place. And in 1st place, a debatable one, some people may argue it's not right. But for me, it is WWE 2K24. 2K24 was just a high success. The sale rates were the best the game's ever been. And it was probably 2K's best game in WWE, or when they've been doing the WWE games. I think the graphics upgrade from 2K23 was a lot better on PS4 and PS5. Same goes for Xbox, obviously. But just all round, we had better entrances, better commentator, better crowd reactions, better moveset, better gameplay. My faction we're going to symbol out because it's just crap. But the new My Rise was very, very good. It was a better story. Finish a story. And the showcase mode was stunning. The 40 years of WrestleMania, it was probably the best showcase mode we've ever had since 2K started doing them. But overall, I think WWE 2K24 deserves to top the list. It was a very, very good game. I've done many hours on the game, and I'm going to try and fit in one more video for it. I'm going to try it. It's going to be a while. It could be tomorrow. It could be on the day of release of 2K25. But I'm going to see about that. But you lot, thank you lot for watching. And drop a comment down below. And if you want to rant about my ratings, or even just, you could praise them as well. That'd be very nice. But 2K24 for me is top of my list. But thank you lot for watching. It has been an awesome to record. Always remember, smash the like, subscribe button to the flipping channel. And I'll see your little dirty faces soon. Goodbye, guys.